What up, y'all? It's Chris Weathers, aka Shorty C94, back at you again with episode 132 of Shorty Sneaker Conversations featuring SL Kicks. Let's see if we can. Black Tom Hagen. What's up, Rochelle? What's up, STC 9111? What's up, man?
What's going on? How about you? How are you?
I'm all right, man. Just long day of moving shoes, but other than that, I'm here having some problems with my tripod, but
I had to rig my setup. Unlike you, I do not have a tripod, so you know what? That might be the next investment.
yeah. Well, as you see, they're not all they're not all good investments.
Yeah,
Shout out to everybody joining. What's up, Stuntman? Uh, oh, man. What's up, Al, big homie, LNRD, and the other YTS.
where
Oh,
you
y'all.
been? Dynasty. A couple of my followers have got in here.
Yeah,
What's going on, man?
not much, man. Before we get started, I always ask my guests, what's the most important thing you've been able to take from the world since the pandemic started?
Man, I think just cherishing time. Time management is the biggest thing that I've personally taken away from COVID. I think when it first happened, we kind of like really thought it was a joke until it started hitting really close to us. It started hitting our loved ones. People got displaced from work, and you had so much time on your hands. And I think people didn't know how to adjust to that until about halfway through COVID. So I'd say just time management, making sure you making every moment that you got count. Because it's just one of those things. Like, all right, we saw when it came into effect how bad COVID was. Once it started hitting, like you live around. So I remember when it hit Alamance County, and I was just like, all right, it's here. I was like, COVID's here, it's real. Yeah, let me start figuring out what's what. So definitely time managers, just making the most of like what you got while you got it.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, we actually moved down here during it. We moved down here on August the 20th.
Woo!
So a lot of the shutdown, we were still in Cleveland.
Okay.
But yeah, it was different. What was crazy is a lot of stuff was open down here, and when I would go back home, it wouldn't be open. There was a lot more open down here. I'm like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
7 o'clock, and I can't get nothing to eat at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. COVID was definitely a wild time. And this area it's it's not the biggest county. So I think when everything closed down, it just kind of was like, all right, it forced everybody to sit in the house, and you're just like, all right, like what do we do now?
yeah. Now so you're in Alamance. Are you in Burlington or where you at?
I actually am located in Medon.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes, I am. I live. Uh, not going to drop my address, but I literally live down the street from Tanger. I actually work at Tanger.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I know Mike. I guess he's still at Convert. Mike is really like my guy. I've known Mike since 2014. Um, so I worked at Tanger, and crazy enough, Mike has been like, man, why don't you come over here? I'm like, because I'm gonna spend all my money in here.
Fair enough.
So yes, I moved down here. Actually, I'm from Philly, and I moved down here July of 2014, and I've just been here ever since.
Okay. Okay. Let's jump to sneaker origins here. What was your first sneaker moment or memory?
Man. So I actually have a pair right here. I got some shoes in the background. One of my first sneaker memories, back home, there was a gentleman who, he was a street dude, but man, he had all the shoes. He had all the sneakers, and I couldn't have told you back in the day what dunks were. none of that. And he had what I now realize is he had the Kentucky, the be true to your school dunks.
'05.
Yeah, these are actually these are 1999.
Okay.
I actually just purchased these from a really good buddy of mine about a year or two ago, and I wore them once, and I was just like, you know what? Part of sneaker history like that, I want to just keep. I want to keep very much close to me, just because when I see these sneakers, I always remember like, yo, that dude legitimately had all of the sneakers on the block. Like I ain't see anybody with that many sneakers. I didn't have sneakers weren't really they were a big thing for me growing up, but uh, not really. So in Philly, growing up, I wore a lot of we call them shell top Adidas. I think they call them shell toes down here. Um, I wore a lot of shell top Adidas. I also wore a lot of New Balances as a kid.
Okay. Yeah, props on those. That's the first retro, that 1999. I have the Michigans from that.
Okay. I do not have the original box. The original box got crushed. So right now I'm actually looking for, and I've been doing it for the last year. I've been looking for the original 1999 box for those.
Yeah, the red with the cardboard. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes. And that is that. I don't know why, but like I have a guy on eBay who can usually source me stuff, and he's like, dude, I can't find that box right now. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, those boxes were actually made well because my box is still. I have a few of those still
Okay.
intact. I have some Team Reds from
Yeah.
1999.
Yeah.
They're still holding on, but
Okay.
they've definitely seen better
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, is yours cracking along like the upper like the neck collar of the shoe?
No, the only thing that's going on with mine is on the right shoe of the Michigans at the tip is starting to peel a little bit
Yeah.
just from
Yeah.
age and improper storage at some points.
Yeah.
So
I'm learning that now with older shoes. Storage is definitely it's important.
yeah, that's really the only thing. Right before they retroed them, either last year or the year before,
Mm.
I wore them, and that happened when I wore them,
Ah.
where it started to chip, where it looked like those one SBs where the spoosh looks like the top of a mountain.
Uh. uh
They're
I know what
like
you're
light
talking
blue
about
with a yellow swoosh, and the
with the
swoosh
way
look like
yellow shoes.
a mountaintop.
Yes.
But anyway, that's kind of how those Michigans look a little bit. So
Ah.
I got you.
Now yours 1999 or are
Yes,
they? Okay.
they're
Okay.
1999.
Yeah. I
I've
was.
had them since.
You've had them since '99.
I mean, I've been buying sneakers since '96, so I have a lot of old stuff.
You know how old I was in '96, dude? I was three. I was three in '96. I turned three in September of '96. So I was not I don't. I think maybe my sneakerhead origin story was being developed, but yeah, '93. I in '96. I was only three.
Yeah, so I got those Michigans from Foot Locker. Um, it was like early 2000, and it was the
Uh
last pair, and they were an
huh.
11 and a half, and they were 1999.
Mm,
My Team Reds were also 1999.
'99. Yeah.
You know, now after that, for me, it probably jumps to my St. John's are from 2003.
I was literally probably about 6 months ago, I was looking at a pair of St. John's and they needed a little bit more restoration work than what I was willing to put into them. And somebody literally outbid me, even with the restoration work. They ended up selling on eBay for like 650. So
Wow.
yeah.
The only be true to your school that eluded me, and I didn't have a pair until last year, was the UNLV.
Oh,
I ended up. Oh, go ahead.
I never had a pair, but those I like the highs and I like the lows. I definitely want a pair of the highs. Like I've never had a pair, and they just the way they look is just out of for whatever reason. For me, the Kentucky stood out, but other than that, I was like, if I ever had to have another pair, it would definitely be the UNLVs.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got the 2016 retro. That was actually made pretty good, that one.
I
So
heard.
um, I got lucky and I found a pair on eBay for like $100. So
that's a
Hmm.
steal.
Yeah,
That's a steal.
yeah. Um, Early through mid last year was good to me as far as steals. So that was
Okay.
one of them.
Okay.
So okay.
How was last year for me? Um, so I am I don't know if you probably know, but I am somewhat of an eBay sniper. One of my good buddies tried to taught me how to snipe on eBay. As far as putting in bids at the last second, just kind of win. And I've sniped all kinds of stuff. Like probably 2 3 months ago. I sniped a pair of Air Forces that I didn't want, and I did it. I did it literally just because it's like a pair of Tiger Stripe Air Force Ones, and I've worn them maybe twice this year. So yeah,
Fair enough. Hey, it's all
yeah.
good. Got no judgments here.
I-
You know, I've been sniped though. When I was on eBay heavy in the 2000s, that shit used to happen to me all the time. So um, it was so frustrating because it's like it's seconds left, and then it's like you didn't win it. It's like
You didn't win it, yeah. Oh, I mean, it's definitely happened to me more times. I've lost to sniping more times than I've won. So the wins that I do get, I'm like, hell yeah, like I did that.
nah, I get you. I get you. So we've got that shoe, but like, what was the next shoe that really solidified it for you? Where you're like, all right, I'm a sneaker person. This is part of me. What was that? What was that next shoe?
The next shoe for me, crazy enough, was um, it was this was later on, but the shoe that like the sneaker, there are two sneakers. Uh, one was the Jordan 8. I can remember having a pair. I had a pair of Jordan Aqua 8s, and I had a pair of the Bugs Bunny 8s. And I was just growing up in the system. I was in a foster care system for a little bit, and I remember one of the staff member where I was, he gave me a pair of Jordan Aqua 8s, and he was like, the other pair are called Bugs Bunnies. And I was like, he was like, don't get them mixed up. He was like, these are called the Aquas. He said, the other ones that I'm going to give you are called the Bugs Bunnies. And I remember um, around this time, I got those the Aquas and the Bugs Bunnies was what I remember to be around third grade. And the reason I remembered them is because there was this kid named Marlon. We cool now, but he spit gum on my Aqua 8s, and that new buck, whatever that mesh material is, um, he like spit gum on my shoe and then like stepped on it and smeared it. So when the gum we ended up getting into a physical fight, and I was like, "You're gonna get on your knees and you're gonna pull this gum off my shoe." And so we both get suspended from class. His parents actually make him come over and clean my shoe, but the gum had kind of, I don't know what it did, but long story short, it literally pulled like some of the sueding off of the shoe, and I cried. Uh,
And
yeah.
you're cool with this dude now.
Man, it was third grade. I ain't even gonna cap to you. Like, I was I was a little bit passive aggressive. So like knowing me, it wasn't a one-sided thing. Like I probably said or did something to him. I more than likely may have had it come into me. But I just remember the Aqua 8s bent and then the teal blue in the back of the shoe, just the way it looked. And as I got older, I was born in 93, and that's around the time that the Jordan 8s came out.
Right.
So crazy enough, I only own a single pair of Jordan 8s right now. And the Jordan 8s are like one of my favorite 8s. I just don't, for some reason, I just don't get them when they come out, and I could not tell you why.
Wow. Because I
Yeah.
know the Nike account that I was working in when the Aqua 8 Retro Black Friday of 2015 had
Uh-huh.
so many pairs of them. Like we ended up having a sale around Christmas, and I still had so many pairs. They were buy one get one. So those and the Chromes.
So, speaking of, the Chromes are the ones I have. I was working at Tanger. I had a connect at Nike at the time. I was working at the Polo store, And he would come in and he'd be like, "Hey, like you work here." So I was like, "Just swap out our discounts. Like, you know, you work at Nike, I work at Polo. Like, let's network."
Yeah.
And the Chrome 8s were just sitting there. The Chrome 8s, and I remember the Chicago 2 lows, and they were just sitting there. And I was like, dude, like, why is nobody buying these? And I remember we kind of finessed the system a little bit. He used his family and friends discount on top of whoever the girl manager was at the time. She like did something else. So no lie, man. Like after everything was said and done, I paid like $75 at the Nike Intanger for those Chrome 8s.
Yeah. It was surprising to me because I was working for Foot Action when they came out in 2003,
Okay.
and they were like a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people bought the hairs because they were the first eight. You know,
Yeah.
people bought them. We
And
knew they were
so
going to sell.
it was an iconic shoe.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing that added it for me, because I usually don't mix Lakers and Jordan with other teams, but
Yeah.
like Kobe wore the Chrome 8s.
Yeah, he
So,
did.
and a lot of the away games against Minnesota and in the first round, and that kind of added something extra to me. But they were really hard to get in 2003.
Yeah.
That's why it was crazy to me that they just in 2015 it was like
sat.
Yeah.
They
For a
sat.
while.
So that year, 2015, like I said, I'm still working at Tanger, and man, like so much stuff came through Nike and sat.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember the Chicago 2 lows. I literally had my guy. I wasn't working at Polo anymore, but I was still in Tanger. He like pulled up to where I was working. I was on the clock, and I was like, "Hey, I gotta walk out of the store." And my manager's like, "You're not walking out of anywhere. It better not be another sneaker delivery." And
What?
he drops off my Chicago 2 lows, and I was just like, "All right, like, what do I owe you?" Blah blah blah. He was like, "Oh, just hit me up when you get off of work." And I remember like being on Snapchat, and I'm like posting like, "Oh, when your sneaker connect pulls up to you on your job," and I like pull the Chicago 2 lows out of the box. And they sat. Tanger could not. They legit had to mark those down twice. They didn't even sell. You remember in Tanger when they do the whole family and friends weekend with the little red card thingies. Now this was back in the day. They used to actually give out the little red card at guest services.
Yeah.
Yeah, even through the friends and family, like they sat. And so after everything was said and done, I probably paid like $80 for my tubes.
I always say, you know, and it made Nike step it up, but I feel like 2015 and 16, you know, Adidas won those years.
Adidas
You know, Yeezy,
definitely
Real.
did the Yeezys, the NMDs. I remember the Human Races had a very big Human Races had a really big run, and I don't know if if you'd agree, but opinion wise, like I think 2015 quality wise, like quality sneaker coming out of factory wise for Nike was. I don't think quality control was the best on a lot of the shoes.
Well, I feel like they kind of picked and choose which shoes they gave it
Yeah.
to because, you know, that's when they relaunched the remaster
Yep.
project with the Jordans.
I
So,
remember that.
you know, but 2015, if you remember the releases, after the Bordeaux 7,
I
it
remember
kind of
that.
like jumped off a cliff. It wasn't nothing. Nobody wanted either of those 9s, the Marvin the Martian 7s,
I
any of
got the
those
Marvin the Martian
releases.
7.
Yeah, post Bordeaux 7 in 2015, the 72 and 10,
Yeah.
the Laney 14 low.
Yeah. I'm literally looking at my Laneys right now, and they are in just the condition just did not hold up.
Really?
Yeah. Like they're okay right now, but the suede upper was just, and mind you, like what I do sneaker
Right.
wise, so I've learned just far as restoring and cleaning what real good quality material feels like, and I'm just like, yeah, this is not it. And I can kind of see why after a while when Jordan sit, like they kind of deteriorate in a way uh on their own. Not bad, but like you said, it just depends on what it just really depended on what release and what year it dropped.
Right. Like, I'll always say the Maroon 6, because it was originally supposed to come out in October.
I
If it
remember.
hadn't come out the week before the 72 and 10, it would have been a bigger
Yeah.
deal. It was very fall. It wasn't white. It was off-white.
Right.
So the yellowing
Yep.
and
Yep.
everything doesn't look as bad. So to me, that was a quality release, but that was when they were still charging the extra money for the Nike Air. And
Yeah, yeah,
um,
they were 175. They were 175 in Tanger, and I don't know why. I just was not sold on them, and I ended up passing on the Maroon Sixes, and I don't know why I passed them. I was just like, it's
yeah,
not for me.
and that was $50 off because I mean they were
Yeah,
225.
yeah, yeah.
You know, so yeah, that was a really interesting time. I'm gonna shift gears here a little bit. Let's talk about what you do with sneakers. I tried to get a picture of you for the flyer where you were actually doing some work.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
know,
um,
so
um,
what do you do?
so I actually clean and restore sneakers. I started. I really started in 2017, 2018. But I was cleaning and restoring my own sneakers. I'd say just to kind of give a little bit of a background. 2014, I turned 21, and that's literally when I started collecting sneakers. Like the year I moved down here, I was like, all right, like
Away
I
from
just
Philly.
yeah. When I left Philly, I was just like, you know, let me figure out something that'll give me comfort. And I was like, okay, sneakers have always brought me some sort of like solace and comfort when I can get them. So a couple years later, I was just like, you hit the toothbrush and the toothpaste and whatever, to keep your shoes clean. And at the time, the girl that I was dating, I wanted to get into doing custom sneakers. And so I had a pair of the 2016 release of the True Blue threes with the OG tab on the back of them. And I wanted to, the paint started chipping on them. And I was like, oh, I could just customize them and whatever, whatever. And I completely messed them up. They're still sitting in my closet with blue paint on the elephant trim to this day, and I just won't trash them. But anyway, she just told me at the time, she was like, you know what? I don't think doing the whole custom thing is good for you, but you're really good at cleaning sneakers. So I started cleaning my own sneaker. I started cleaning my own sneakers, and at my job, I'm very much known for, I'm sneakerhead Ken at my job. Um, there's nobody at my job that's really touching me with sneakers. Like not even on arrogance. I could sit with the best of them with my sneaker collection. So during COVID, I literally had one person was like, "Hey, you said you kind of clean sneakers," and I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "You want to clean my Jordans?" And he had a pair of like a cool gray Jordan 1 or whatever they were. And he was like, how much do you charge to clean sneakers? I was like, oh, shoot. I don't know how much I charge to clean sneakers because you're the first person. And that's really how I started. The very first year of COVID, I work at Sports Endeavors now. And that first year of COVID, man, I literally ate off of just cleaning sneakers. Like the first year of COVID, like I didn't have my Instagram was not geared to cleaning sneakers. It was still my personal Instagram, and man, it seemed like after one person found out I cleaned sneakers, man, I picked it up from there. And at the time, everything was legitimately word of mouth. Like people will come in, hey, yo, are you the dude that cleans sneakers? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah. They'd be like, oh, okay, I got some sneakers in the trunk or blah, blah, blah. I could bring them to work. And it got to a point so much so where I was making so much money during COVID cleaning sneakers that my job was like, hey, like, you got to stop telling these kids to bring their sneakers to the job because you're about to leave, but they're stepping off of the clock to go get their sneakers to hand them off to you. So, yeah, I clean, I restore sneakers. I pretty much do it all. Once I found out I was good at it, I just started refining like what my craft was with it. I started learning about how to properly take care of, you know, different materials. I started actually looking up, okay, what type of leather this may be. What's the difference between regular leather and Italian leather, suede versus nubuck, what water does to what. And once I refined it, I felt like that made me stand out amongst all of, you know, the sneaker cleaners. Because there are a few sneaker cleaners that are in this area. Shout out to them. I just think I have a little bit of a different metric far as, you know, quality of what I do as far as sitting down, learning materials, things of that nature.
Man, just say it. Just, hey, I'm better than them niggas.
I
I'm
mean,
better than
I'm
them.
damn good at what I
Just
do.
say
I
it,
am
you
one of
know.
the
I'm better
I
than
am
them.
one of the best at what I do. I can rightfully say that because of me, that I have, because of following in my footsteps, there are people that are started cleaning sneakers.
All right, now, what's the full extent that you do other than cleaning? Like, do you take the yellowing out of the
Uh,
soles,
yes, I
deoxidations?
do. I do the oxidation. I literally, you guys can't see it, but off camera to my right, where my hand is waving, I have a whole icebox corner set up. I built it myself. You know, UV light set up. I do icings. I do pretty much deep cleans. I can do reglues. I stay away from sole swaps just because, to be real, a lot of people are very cheap and a lot of customers want certain services, but you know, when you tell them, hey, you know, if you want a sole swap on this shoe, it's going to be 200 plus, and they say, oh, well, you're ripping me off, or I could go to somebody cheaper, and I'm always willing to say, hey, if you can get somebody to do a, for example, a really good soul swap, like a top tier professional soul swap with the professional stitching and stuff like that, you can go to them. I don't do it, but I have people who I can source to do certain things if need be. So
Okay.
I do a little bit of it all, man. Uh, right now, probably my favorite thing to do is suede shoes. Like I don't know, like I used to hate working with suede material. And I had a $1,200 pair of Chanel sneakers. That was my first big test. That was my first big test. And like, you know, because it's a designer shoe, the suede is made out of like fox fur or whatever it's made out of. And yeah, I had to like learn what the material was, and I had to really figure out how to clean it. And after that, I took off from there. So, you know, as far as what I do, most popular shoe I probably clean, and I hate cleaning them, are Jordan 11s. I hate cleaning Jordan 11s.
I knew it. I knew it.
Jordan 11s are awful to clean because, for one, no two cleans are ever the same. And I don't care how long you've been cleaning Jordan 11s, no two cleans are ever the same. I've done icings on a pair of 11s that have been, I get it, one or two sessions, and then the next pair it might take me 5 to 6 sessions, but then I'm dealing with the after effects of customers like, hey, you know,
Bottom
you
look
taking too
like
long.
this.
Oh man, yeah. I had a pair of 11s that were like they were like almost like shit brown. hmm
What were they? Were
They
they
were
Concords or Space Jams? What were they?
they were a 2001 pair of cool grays, and I did not want to take them. I did not want to take them because the guy told me, he was like, man, I'm not going to lie. He was like, my storage unit flooded. He was like, this was one of the only shoes. He said moisture got into it. And I was like, yep, moisture, oxidation. I said, dude, and it took me, and I can say this now because he was happy with the result, but it took me, so I run a metric of how long I ice sneakers for, because after a while you deal with something called traction slipping on the bottom of the soles. It took me like 15 sessions to get his shoes back, like the bottoms, like back relatively icy. And I had that guy's shoes for like 6 months because I was just like, dude, like this is a 2001 pair. And he was just like, man, I just want to, I want to keep these sneakers. What can you do? And I was like, hey man, I'm gonna do what I can do. And you know, you've been doing this way longer than I've been around. You know them those early 2001, especially like the Columbias and the cool grays. Like that's not cool gray no more. That's like a cool like yellow. That's a
Yeah,
cool yellow 11.
I wish I had my pair here because,
Uh-huh.
see, and again, I'm not hating on your customer. But to be shit like that is pointless. It's like, just get a fucking newer pair, bro.
Yeah, you know, and you know, at the man, so I at the time, and he wears the same size as me, and I had another customer who, ended up letting me keep a pair of, let me keep a pair of like, what were they called, the Legend Blue 11s, um, and I was like, hey, dude, I was like, I don't like the Legend Blue 11s. Just take these. Like, just take them off my hands. Like, dude, I'll sell them to you for $50, like, with the cool grade. And he was just like, no, man, like these cool grades. And I was like, dude, like, I got to do so much work to this shoe. The only redeemable quality about that shoe that surprised me was that there was absolutely no sole separation, like, whatsoever. And I was like, do you know how rare that is on an older shoe like that?
Yeah. Because to me, even with sole swapping, like, if the shoe isn't dead stock, it's pointless to me. Like, how you going to take a new sole on an old shoe? Like, I know people that do it, but again, no disrespect. That shit looks stupid to me.
It is, and it's man, it's tedious. It is very much a tedious job. So me personally, I'm gonna be real. I don't offer sole swaps. I have people that I'm very, you know, we like this. I got people East Coast, West Coast. I got people in Europe. If I needed to send them to, I could sole swap. They could do it for you. It's a tedious thing. And honestly, when you tell a customer like, hey, you're going to need a donor sneaker to do this.
Yeah.
You know, they don't, you know, that those waters get a little bit muddy.
See, like, I have these Magics from 1991. They're Converse. Soul is gone.
Those
right?
are beautiful, though.
Now, these lasted for a really long time. I probably got these on eBay in 2004 or 5. I wore them probably until 2012 is when they started, or 13. They started chipping. Now, you know, it's typical old school Converse basketball. Like, you know, the tongue is.
Those are beautiful.
But what I wanted to do, I tried to do it, but it just didn't work for me. After I pulled the sole off, I have this, whatever this is, a Converse G4.
And the soles are pretty much the same.
Exactly. So I'm looking for somebody, because I don't know where they are. They're in here somewhere. They're in one of these boxes, but I have like a white, clear, and like light purple pair of these that I was going to put the sole on the bottom of these, since the sole is very similar. Because I really want to wear these, because Magic is my favorite player.
Those are beautiful.
You know, I know nobody at Converse is going to have these. Not Mike, not Alicia, not nobody. So I need these.
Yeah. But those are nice. I have never seen those, but those are very nice.
I still got half the box. The other half got destroyed in the move down here from Cleveland.
Man. Those are nice.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want me, I can put some fillers out there. Maybe I got a buddy or so that might, you know, want to take them on. There's a guy named Jeremy Layson I think he's in Miami, Florida, man. He is I'm actually sending my 1999s down to him, because he is going to re-embroider. I don't know if you can tell, but I got the paint is coming off of my check.
Right.
So he is going to professionally restore my swooshes for me. So if you want, I mean, I could just ask him, like, hey, you know, just put a filler out there. I could put a filler out there for you, because I'm not. That's older shoes. Reglues are like you said, reglues could really be touch and go, but they look, those shoes look good. It's crazy you say that, because I got a pair of New Balances in my actual closet right now. They are from 2006. They're called their New Balance Leftovers. I never seen anybody with a pair of these. I think they're the 576 or the 574s. I got them on eBay. I wore them for work for 6 hours. 6 hours into my shift, the sole disintegrated on me. I stepped down off of my forklift and it crumbled on me.
I've had that happen. It's happened at Converse. I had an old D Wade shoe called the Loaded Weapon from his rookie season.
I vaguely remember those.
Yeah. So, and back when I was in Cleveland, I used to work for Exhibition. Tier Zero Nike account in Cleveland. I was wearing my UNC 6 lows from
Ooh.
2002, and they lasted for most of my shift.
Okay.
But they just like it was midsole all over the store. But
yeah. Oh man.
the only thing good about that, it was the silver lining, was it got me. I had to buy another shoe to work in, so that's what got me hip to the Flyknit Chukka.
Okay.
I love
They're
that shoe. It
very
was a
comfortable.
little
They're very
overpriced, but
comfortable. They're
I
very
got
comfortable.
I ended up getting like 10 pairs of those things. I
Okay.
love those things.
Do you still have those shoes, just out of curiosity?
Those
The
sixes?
sixes. Yes.
I'm pretty sure they're in one of my storage units.
I would love to see what the air unit looks like on those. I would love to see if the air unit is still intact.
Yeah, I think I still have them.
Oh man.
But okay. Well, we're gonna jump right to current day sneaker dumb.
Okay. So this year I'm not gonna lie, I have not necessarily been paying attention to drops, but I'm a big fan of the Ama Manere. Like I got a chance to clean a few pair of those. I cleaned the Jordan one, the ones and the fours. And just I wish I would have paid more attention to those releases, but I don't know, whatever they're doing with Jordan Brand as far as the collaborations, I'm a big fan of it.
Somebody messed up their fours already. They just came
out. So one of my loyal customers, she got a pair for her son. He's middle schooler, high schooler, and they were out and he spilled some ranch dressing on him, and she kind of was like, can you fix these? And I was like, bear shit in the woods, right? Yeah, I can fix them. So I fixed them up, but just the quality on that shoe, I was just like, oh man. I'm a big fan of what they are doing with Jordan Brand. Let's see. Last week, it's crazy enough, the UNC, what are they called? The UNC Black Toes.
Mm-hmm.
When I moved down here, the year I moved down here, Carolina won the championship, so I just decided I was going to become a Duke fan because I didn't want a bandwagon. Grant Hill is also one of my favorite basketball players of all time, besides AI. So I was like, all right. So I would never wear anything with the Carolina colorway, just out of, whatever that rivalry is. But I did get my brother for his birthday. I just got him the Carolina with the Carolina toe ones. And when I saw them in person last week when they dropped, I was like, man, I might keep these for myself. I was like, I might keep these. But they look really good. There's a place in Tanger on the opposite side where Polo is. I actually picked up a pair of SB ray guns. These are not the 05 pair. These are the ones that came out like 2-3 years ago. So I actually had an 05 pair of ray guns, and when I moved down here, they just wore one of the shoes that didn't make it down here, and I don't know where they currently are. So I think landscape-wise, I've always been in the SBs and dunks. Like, they started making their way, like, when I was in high school. So right now, I have on a pair of What the Prestos.
Okay.
I hate the What the. I am not a big fan of the What the run. I think a lot of times it just depends on the shoe, honestly. I think a lot of times it gets a little dicey with the series, but I actually got these actually dropped during COVID, and I was like, man, I am not a big fan of Prestos. When I seen them, I was like, oh yeah, these are hard. I gotta have these. So
yeah, I grabbed a pair of those because they had them so cheap for us on the swoosh.
Okay.
I've never worn. I've had them.
I got
2 years and they've been sitting.
So I got mine. I got mine at round one in Miami. I was on the hunt for one of my Grail sneakers. Somebody told me they may have had a pair at round one. I was in Miami during COVID, and I was like, man, they got with the Prestos here, and I ended up actually getting them for $140 there. So
yeah, those and the Hello Kitties are the only new Prestos I have. All of mine are like old.
Man, so I was highly debating getting the Hello Kitties. One of my coworkers was like, "This shoe is just so sexy for you. Like I could just see you traipsing around the warehouse in some Hello Kitty Prestos." And honestly, I don't know why I did not get them because I didn't think that they were going to do it. I know in Japan that release like went nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know it got bodied to hell over there, and I was just like, it's not going to sell out in the U.S. And yeah.
Yeah, I got lucky. I found my pair at the clearance store in Concord Mills.
Oh,
It didn't have a whole box, so I did have to, because when it's a special box, like even at Converse, I'll be like, no, don't put these out on the floor yet. Don't rip the top off the box. I need
yeah,
these.
don't rip the top off. Yeah,
But yeah, it was that was the only thing that sucked because they were only like $40, but I didn't get the whole box, so it was just kind of
yeah.
like
Okay, have you worn them yet?
once
Okay, okay,
because I have I actually found this. I might as well show you. I found this shirt at Target after I got the shoes, so I'm like, I might as well wear them with this. So
that's hard. That's hard.
yeah,
I like that. I like
but
that. But
I did want to show you too. I actually have two SBs here that I actually need to take back to storage that I've worn recently.
okay,
These are actually my two favorites.
okay.
So the Iron from 2003.
Ooh, listen, they're literally on my list. In my notes, I have about 375 pair that I'm looking to acquire in my lifetime, and those are, I think, like number 17 on my list.
Okay. Now these are my favorite SBs here.
Okay.
2005.
That you had them on the other day.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they just need to get back to their boxes. I just haven't taken them back to.
Oh, I saw you. I said he got on the De La Soul, so I'm going to take you guys into the next room if that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to show you a shoe that just means everything to me. I gotta take a step over some shoes because I got shoes sitting all on my floor. Yeah, dude, I got the sneaker boxes, but I just haven't got them yet. But I'll actually show you guys if I can figure out how to flip the camera. This is what my sneaker floor looks like right now.
Ooh, a lot of heat on that floor.
Yeah, man, I got a lot of heat, but these are probably one of my favorite dunks. These are the 2006 glow in the dark dunks.
Yeah.
Yes. I wore these. I got these sometime last. Okay, so what shoe was it? When the Cherry 11s dropped, I might be thinking of the wrong drop. When they dropped last year, I got these. I saw these on eBay, and I was like, man, I gotta have these. I actually remember these, and I wanted the low top sneakers, but the low top version only came out in kid sizes, right. And we all know I'm not getting my foot in the kid size. So, you can see some leather cracking in these. The whole front toe cap is trash because I decided to wear them after they were dead stock. Since 06, I wore them to work on the warehouse floor, and it was curtains after that, and that's completely fine. I'm a big proponent of wear your shoes. Like, why are they sitting?
Absolutely.
Well, wear your shoes, even if they cracked up. Like, I actually might pull these out this week, like as bad as they look.
I have the Vandals from that pack.
Ooh,
the navy low with the lining. They're actually dead stock.
You haven't worn them?
My son was like, because I was going through stuff because I'm moving stuff into a different unit.
Okay.
And he was like, have you even worn these?
Yeah.
They're older than him.
Oh,
and I'm
man.
like, 06, he was born in 08.
Okay.
So I'm like, judging by the bottom, I don't think I have. And I fuck with Vandals heavy.
Yeah, the 2000s were a very good release run for dunks and SBs.
Yes.
6.0s were my favorite. I don't know if you've ever seen these. These are called the how do you say these? These are called the Gyrizos or the Gyrizos, and it's a 6.0. Um, um, and the reason these dropped during the '08 Beijing Olympics, and they actually dropped in the form of like a cleat. The bottoms on them look like cleats.
Hmm.
And that pair right there was just the general release. The Olympic release, the blue on them were darker. I got those off of eBay for $55. They were like dead stock, and I wear all my sneakers. I don't care how old, how new they are. I'm going to wear them, and
I like to hear that.
yeah, like I'm going to wear them. Like, people be like, "Oh, this shoe is from blah 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 blah." Like, don't wear it, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna wear it because shoes should be worn.
Yeah.
They need to be worn." So, um, yeah, man, I got a lot of sneaker heat, man. Probably not as much as you. Like I'm like, man, he got some stuff on today.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's,
man. I'm not. I don't know how many sneakers do you think you have?
I'll just I always say it's definitely 4 digits. I know certain collections within the collection, like I know because this room I'm in is just full of Converse.
Okay.
I know I've got maybe around 450 Converse. So, um,
Okay.
yeah, it's. But again, this is going back to the '90s, so
Yeah.
I've been
Okay.
collecting for a long time. But
I
it's
have. How many do I have? I have so at my apartment right now, I am sitting on I think the last time I counted, my girlfriend helped me. I think we were sitting at 115 pair in the apartment. So
okay.
in total, I probably have closer to 300 pair, but other pairs, I got pairs in Philly, I got some in Miami. When I travel, sometimes I'll ship sneakers out there like ahead of me, and I'll just leave them there. Like my little brother probably has like 10 pair of sneakers sitting out in California right now, and so I keep sneakers. I try to keep sneakers in different places. I actually need to ask my older sister, can I put some sneakers at her house in Philly, just so when I go up there, I already got some. I got some sneakers.
See, I wish I had it like that. Like I ain't really got nobody to leave my sneakers with, so I have to get storage units.
Yeah, I got the little sneaker boxes, man, but they so expensive. Them little sneaker containers, and like people keep saying to me, "Oh, Ken, you got so many sneakers. Why don't you just get the containers?" I'm like, "Listen, it's like 40 to 50 bucks for like a 10 pack. If you want to buy them for me, please by all means go
Yeah,
forth and do so.
get them
Cuz they
for me.
don't yeah, like buy them for me. So, but yeah, I got man, so I have sneakers literally lined up all against the wall. There are sneakers in some of those boxes. Um, I have sneaker boxes up there, and literally, um, what I do is I crawl across the floor, and I'm like, all right, what sneakers am I going to wear today? And then I try to keep a rotation by the front door so that I don't have to come in here.
Yeah. Now, because I'm new at this place, I have maybe about 10 pairs by the door that are just recent thrift
Uh
finds
huh.
that are
Yep.
just they're like
Okay.
a part of the collection, but they're not part of the
Okay.
collection.
Where do you go thrifting if you don't mind? Because I found some really good stuff thrifting. I have not gotten into it heavy, and like I've seen people go to like places like thrifts and Marshalls and Ross and TJ Maxx, and like one of my buddies just got a pair of Kobe's there, and I was just like, how? Like, why didn't you call me?
I've, I've no lie, because up until January I was living in Mebane as well.
Yeah.
So about a week after we got here,
Okay.
I went to the Goodwill in Mebane,
Oh
119th, and I found a
yes.
pair of Kobe nines, the victory ones, the green ones with the gold
What?
swoosh. The bottom was oxidized as fuck, but I didn't care. They even had the box for these bitches, and they were $8.
No, no. Because I used to go to the one on 119, and like I'm a nine, so I wear a size 9, so I think like that's just a common size. So, God, some Kobe. nines. I am literally looking for a Kobe. I'm looking for a pair of Kobe nines. My Kobe's that I have right now in front of me. My girlfriend tried them on, and she wants those Kobe's so bad. And I was like, hey, I'm looking for a specific pair of Kobe's. When I get those Kobe's, once I replace those Kobe's, you can have those. And every here and there, she's like, hey, am I going to get those Kobe's? And I'm like, look, one day, just I can't give you these because these are my only those. Unfortunately, I only have one pair of Kobe's in my collection. I had a pair of Kobe 8s, and I dog walked them. I dog walked them the first year I moved down
You
here.
know about the retro them bitches.
Yeah, they are. I don't know how I feel about like I'm hit and miss about like them kind of. I remember after he passed, Nike kind of Nike, stopped Kobe's, and I was just like I actually could respect that. So like I'm 50-50 on them coming back out on Kobe's right now. I'm like, do I want a new pair or do I just find like an older pair?
All right, I'm gonna just say this because this will be a tangent. I'm gonna keep it short.
And that's okay.
It's not because I the Kobe 8 was the last one that I bought.
Okay.
A lot of, but the colorways that are coming out aren't really moving me. It's sort of like how they do LeBron retros. It's like they'll come out with one good one of a number, and the rest of them will just be whack. Like how they did the LeBron 9. Like they came out with the Washington Throne. They came out with the Big Bang, but everything else was garbage. The pink ones with the fur and those
those
ones. It's like, what is that?
It's crazy because last year a customer had one with the fur on it, and I was like, I'm not cleaning this. I was like, I don't know what the hell this shit is. I was like, I'm not cleaning these.
That should have been something they just made for him. And that
real. Like
real
why did this? Yeah, like why did this make a general release?
Yeah. But,
you're the Converse man. Hold on. This I have two pair of Converse in my collection right now, and I said when I do this live, I'm gonna show him these. So I have my off-white Converses.
You'll come with the off-whites, man.
Come on, man. So my girlfriend actually got me these for my birthday 2 years ago, and I got them off of GOAT. And funny story. So I next date them from GOAT, and I'm so like locked in with myself as far as sneakers that I legit check anything. Like it could come from Nike and I'm legit checking it. Well, these bad boys did not come with the zip tie. So I'm on GOAT like cussing the customer sales rep out. And I was like, it's an off-white sneaker. Like, how could it not come with a zip tie? Like, that's Virgil's, like, that's his thing. And she was like, sir, I'm so sorry. And I had never really had an issue with GOAT ever. That was the only issue I've ever had with GOAT. And they was like, we're sorry, we don't know how this happened. So I'm like looking at the stiction again. I actually took these into Mike, and Mike was like, no, these look really good. We just didn't have them. And I was like, okay, cool. And I'm ashamed to say this, but I paid $65 for an authentic off-white zip tie.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's one that I'm looking for.
Yes,
but I won't buy it without the zip tie.
Yes,
all my other off-white shoes have the zip tie. This one has to be no different.
Yeah, it has to have the zip tie. And I got these. Actually, Mike sold me this pair, and I've yet to wear them. They were on sale in the store, and I had got somebody else a pair of the sunflower Converses that were you guys had at the time. And I just saw these little things, those, and I was like, you know what? I am going to just get a pair of Converse, and I have not worn those since. I don't even know where the original box of those are. I think they may be at the top. But yeah, I took them out the box, tried them on in the house, and was like, yeah, I'll find an outfit for them, and have not worn them since.
What sucked about those, because I was working there when those were there. There was a high top pair that was white. I'm like, man, why couldn't a high top pair be black?
Yeah.
But then it would probably look too much like a CDG. So that's why I'm like, maybe that's why, but that's the thing, because I wear a 12 and I'm short, so
yeah,
low top Converse don't always go. I've tried to wear more of the ones because I have a decent amount of low tops, but
yeah,
I don't ever wear them. So that's something I'm trying to work in. But I kind of wish I would have got one of those. So those are like
Yeah.
2.5 years ago. We had those.
Okay. Yeah. They were like marked down, and I was like, you know what?
Hmm.
Why? I was like, why not? And I have not worn them. I need a pair of the CDGs, man. I don't know why I can't find them in my size.
Hey man, you know who be having them for the low? Cause and let me just say this: Instagram only lets me do lives for an hour,
Okay,
so we may get cut
that's
off,
fine.
and Matt to come back on. But I see a lot of CDGs use pairs, and I know you go on Macari and
Yeah,
Poshmark
yeah.
and
Oh,
share Etsy,
absolutely, absolutely.
Depop.
Depop.
I found my pair of whites on Poshmark for like $17. They were just dirty as fuck.
Get the
So I
fuck
cleaned
out
them.
of here.
Yeah, this is back.
17
This was
bucks.
yeah, this was like 2 years ago. I was still I was an ambassador for Crep. So
Like
um
the shoe
mhm.
cleaner people.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was like a 2 year relationship. So they used to just send me. I
Stuff.
actually opened my last box because I'm low on shoe cleaner,
Uh-huh.
and but yeah, I had some. So I was able. I made like a video of it,
Okay.
me cleaning them for my YouTube page.
Okay.
So
Crap.
they were dirty, but there
Uh-huh.
wasn't no heel drag. If there's no heel drag on a chuck, I could rock with it.
Yeah, like that's pretty much how I am with sneakers. Like especially if because of what I do to sneakers, I'm not against buying used sneakers. And I was just having this conversation yesterday with my sister. As long as there's no heel drag on it, or if there's very minimal heel drag, I can deal with it. Um,
Yeah,
just because it's not that bad. But I definitely need a pair of I definitely need a pair of the CDG Converses. Mike was like, man, we don't have those here. And then when the off white dropped, the vulcanized off whites, Mike kind of laughed me out the store. Mike was like, you think we're gonna carry them here? And I was like,
I have
come
those
on,
same
Mike.
situations. Cause see now,
Yeah.
and I'm not really supposed to say this, so this is I'm gonna just But now, if somebody, because people still return them, we can still return them. Customers can return them, but we can't sell them. We can't even sell them now. So it's any Rick Owens, any Stussy or
Mm-hmm.
CG, we can't sell them.
What do y'all do with them, or are
We
you
send
not
them to
allowed to say?
like one of the fancy stores,
Like the boot?
like
Oh man, that
one of the like the one in
yeah.
Boston or the one in
Mm-hmm.
Soho, something like that. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
we can't sell them.
Polo's kind of like that. If it's too high of a price point, if it was too high of a price point, they gotta either mark it down. They gotta mark it down to like outlet prices. If they are allowed to do that, and if they can't do it, they send a lot of their stuff to Smithfield where they know it may sell a little bit
Like
better.
some purple label would have got returned or some double RL or something like
I
that.
have a double RL pair of white denim, and they were on the website. They came out a few years ago, and retail on them were like $4.95. And there was this lady named Pam that I work with. She said, Ken, what size does your little skinny ass wear? And I was like, I'm like a 30, 32. She was like, we got these double RL white denim up front, but like we technically aren't supposed to sell them, but like, do you want to try them on? And at the time at Polo, there was this thing called a 50 card, to where if you could wear it in the store, this is before the whole uniform bullshit. Um, if you could wear it in the store, you got a 50% off. So Polo had to mark them down to like $75. I don't know why that price point, but after that, I used my 50 card on them, and yeah. So I got like a $500 pair of double RL denim, and I have not wore them. I used to wear them a lot a couple years ago, and then I just ended up stopping. But yeah, yeah,
I get,
yeah.
um,
Man,
man, I
you
appreciate you coming on
I
here.
say that
I
again.
appreciate you coming on here, man.
Oh yeah, man, definitely. Thank you, man. I definitely I fuck with what you do. Far as the people on here, I think it's not just a conversation of sneakers. I mean, it is, but it's also like a knowledge of like you pulled out something that I have never seen. Like, I probably got some stuff that you may or may not have seen. We could probably talk for hours shoes, but I think as far as what you do, having guests on every week, I think it's one of those things where like you giving it a little bit of a deeper look into into what sneaker culture is, because it's not always about hype. It's about like, why are you a sneakerhead? So I'm definitely grateful to have been on here, man. We definitely gotta like sit down somewhere, chop it up. I definitely would love to see your collection. Like, you probably got some stuff I ain't never seen before. So
Man, we definitely gonna get together.
I definitely appreciate being on here, man. I definitely value what you do. I think you got a lot of people, before I go, you got a lot of people that come into this culture